and every story can change the world. Together we are Global Speakers Talk.
What if the hardest moment of your life wasn't the end of your story, but the beginning of your purpose? Many of us spend years chasing success, only to discover that true fulfillment comes from resilience, faith, and the courage to begin again. Welcome to Global Speakers Talk, where we bring you powerful conversations with world-class leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers whose stories inspire transformation. I'm your host, Elvira Hopper. Today I'm honored to welcome my dear sister, Holly Porter, a serial entrepreneur, best-selling author of 17 books, founder of the International Retreat Association, and creator of the Shift Framework. After surviving near-death experience, Holly transformed unimaginable adversity into a global mission of helping others build purposeful lives and businesses. Holly, welcome to Global Speakers Talk. It is an absolute pleasure to have you with us.
Oh, thanks for having me, Elvira.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Let's just dive right in with the deep dive questions, shall we?
Yep.
So, Holly, you've built successful businesses, authored 17 books, and founded an international organizations. But before all of that, there was a life-changing near-death experience. Can you take us back to that moment and how it completely reshaped your purpose?
Oh, for sure. So it was fall of 2021 when we were about halfway through that COVID nonsense. And I got COVID at a conference and I came home, brought it to my husband, and we both were very, very sick for about a week before I realized I was in big trouble. And intuitively, I woke up about 4:30 in the morning and was dying, literally. Somehow he got us to the hospital and dropped me off. And that was the last time I saw him for 3.5 weeks because they wouldn't let him in with me because he had COVID. Not bad enough to be hospitalized, and that began one of 70 days in the hospital with 2 intubations, a trachea and sepsis, and a couple infections they said were worse than COVID, believe it or not, that I got. So
Wow.
big
Wow,
shit.
that is incredible. And can you take us to that moment where you truly like you were not the same person after that, like when you
Oh,
experienced that near death experience?
yeah. Well, I was never afraid to die. I really never
Okay.
had that fear. I'm definitely not now. Unfortunately, I didn't get the choice to come back or stay. I would have probably
Mhm.
chose to stay. It's way better than here.
Oh, wow.
But one of my experiences, there's out of body experiences, there's spiritual transformative experiences, and then there's near death experience. I had all of them, lots of out of
Wow.
body. But the spiritual transforming was that defining moment for me to answer that question. That my mom came to me, and just to give you the short version of the story, she had passed on about 17 months or so before, and she came to me several times, but always on my right, and she never spoke to me until this time, which was considered my spiritual transformative experience. And she was the one that said to me, it's not your time to go and you need to fight. And when she
Mm,
said that, above my bed, all my deceased ancestors who I loved dearly, that I knew, grandparents and aunts and uncles, and I had a brother. I even had a grandbaby that had died just 5 months before. She appeared as an adult, but even though she died as a baby, I knew it was her. So they're all above me and they start chanting, fight, fight, fight. And every time they would say fight, a whole new group of people would come behind them. And now they're in street clothes. So I know they're living people. I recognize my husband, my kids, my siblings, friends. And then they just kept coming. I would say thousands of people coming. And I mean, as far as you could see, like if you looked in a mirror behind you and you could just see forever, it was like that in front of me. And they're all chanting, fight, fight. And it was like this defining moment that changed everything for me because it was like, who am I not to fight? Number one, I have a thing with people having my back. I love people having my back, by the way. And
yeah.
I try to do that for
Yeah.
other people all the time. And it was like,
Yeah.
all these people you don't even know that are telling you fight. And you have all these people that have your back. Who are you not to fight? And later I
Oh,
really gave it some consideration and thought, all those people I think that I didn't recognize, we were hanging on to social media at that time. I had friends all over the world. I was on prayer lists everywhere. And I think
Oh,
those were the people I saw, as all those people praying for me.
oh
And I
my
just thought,
God.
oh my gosh, who am I not to, I have all this support. Who am I not to fight and do everything I can every day to count my blessings and get a second chance and just keep
Wow.
keep following the purpose.
Oh my God, you're making me cry. I got so many chills, especially when you were talking about your mom. I was feeling her spirit. That's
Yeah.
incredible. Thank you, Holly. Wow. All right, let's talk about your shift framework, okay? Shift, surrender, hope, intuition, faith, and transformation. Love that. It's central to your work. How
Yeah.
did this framework emerge from your own journey, and how can people apply it during life's most difficult seasons?
Yeah. Well, it's part of the book Near Death Shift. And the name got changed after 2 years of working on the book and then realizing that this needed to be the name. The shift
Yeah.
acronym wasn't even part of it. The whole process I was going through was a shift.
Yeah.
And sometimes a crappy shift, you know what I mean? So when it
Usually
came
they
about,
are. Yeah.
yeah, and it was a spiritual thing. That so the book, I knew I had lots of books, but I didn't have a book this big that was all mine, that was a spiritual, but I needed it to be a personal development book too, because to me, if someone's going to read my story, okay, oh, that's a great story, okay, you don't have to almost die to truly live, okay, but what can it do for me? It was that I
Right.
wanted to make sure somebody could read it and take and apply those things. And so there's lots of like little stories within the stories of the book that
Right.
the how about it came. But shift, the acronym, yeah, came while the book was almost, I would say, like, my story's half of it, and then the other's the personal development where it's all put in there. And I was probably just barely getting to that point when it all came about. And it just like it flowed after that. And the book went so quickly, and everything just happened right after that. That last 8 chapters were part of 8 other things that I was building a program on just before COVID that I never finished. They were for my live events. And I realized, oh my gosh, those are my last 8 chapters, and shift was part of that. So it just like the snowball effect, when you're in alignment and you're really
Yeah.
listening to
Yeah.
what you should be doing,
Yeah.
it just flows. It just happens. And during
Oh,
that same time is when I got gifted the idea about International Retreat Association. I wasn't looking
yes.
for, it's my 12th startup
Yes.
company. I didn't want another company. And it was like just being in that space and realizing like everything stopped because I knew that was what I was supposed to be focused on.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful, Holly. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks.
you were in that flow. You were channeling those final chapters, and yeah, I mean, we've had incredible discussion, and yeah, you're so connected, right? And you just listen to spirit, and you just keep going forward in total faith, and I love that. I love that. Um,
Thanks.
yeah. So how can people apply that to their most difficult seasons? Your shift um, framework.
Yeah. My favorite part is that the 2 words happen to work out for me. Surrender and transformation are our bookend letters, right? To shift. And you
Yeah.
almost can't have one without the other. How do you have transformation if you
Yeah.
don't at some point surrender? And for
Yeah.
me, I mean, I laid in the hospital bed, lost all 5 senses. They tie your hands to a bed when you're on a ventilator, so you won't pull it out.
Wow.
Not that I wanted to. And
Wow.
my taste and smell were gone. I can't see who anyone is without correction. So, like, unless they were 8 inches in front of me, I couldn't tell who anyone was under those circumstances. And then when they talked to me, 90% of my hearing was gone somehow from the ventilator. They never could figure out why. Like, everyone
Oh.
sounded like the Charlie Brown school teacher,
Oh.
wah, wah, wah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they all had the yellow hat, mask, the glass, everything. Everybody looked the same. So when I was put in a coma for about 30 of those 70 days, I was actually grateful because, number one, I was having some pretty good experiences, some creepy
Yeah.
ones too, but I was having some pretty good experiences. And it was like, if people could just realize that you don't have to almost die. Like I do,
Yeah.
I do say that. I don't want you to have to go through what I had to. We all go through
Yeah.
our own hard. We all get our
Yeah.
own hard, because I feel like we don't get anything more than we can handle. We always hear that. And when we're in it and we can't handle it, we're like, I didn't sign up for this. I mean, come on, we've all said that. I didn't want this to go here. But guess what? My darkest moments were after I had a near-death experience. I went through 2 years. I call it my 2 years of hell. It was almost 2 years, where it was every day I would have prayed I'd die. So it was like, to me, those shifts were still happening, even though I had been to heaven and back. You'd think everybody, oh, we almost lost you. They would all like want to be closer. And I felt like I repelled everybody. It was dark, a dark time. Like I really, 100, every bad day you've ever had times 100 is how I explain it. That's how heavy everything felt. So I've been there. I've done that. I get it. And it's like, when you're in it, you just want to get out of it. One thing I would have said to myself that I think of now when I'm going to go through more hard times, because they'll happen, is what can I do to get through this faster? What do I need to learn from this experience to move faster?
Yeah. I love that.
Because 2 years is way too long.
Yeah. And that's so funny, Holly, because all my breakdowns were 2 years as well. There must be something significant there. Yeah. Thank
2
you
years
for
is
sharing.
too long.
Yeah, it's too long. It's too damn long. I've done that several times. Okay, so many entrepreneurs believe success comes from working harder, yet you've shown that resilience and purpose are equally important. So, what are the biggest lessons you've learned about building a meaningful business without losing yourself?
Oh, wow. Good question. Probably one I haven't considered a lot. I would say for me, it was, work smarter, not harder. We always hear that. And it's really true, because all of the long COVID came for me after the COVID. So I was very sick for, probably a year and a half. I don't even know how I functioned at all. I was on oxygen for months and months. I had 9 doctors going from none. And so I'm thinking that yes, it's like, okay, now my health is a challenge. It never was before. That was something new for me. So how do I get things done so maybe I don't have to work an 8 or a 10-hour day being an entrepreneur, and I could work maybe a 4 to 6 hour day, but have the same, if not better results. So it's shifting again, that mindset. I can make this work. I can just think about things like sometimes in the morning, if I don't get out of bed till 8, that's very rare, because I'm usually awake about 5 a.m. But I could get a half a day's work done on my phone laying in bed. And then I feel like my body's actually getting the rest. I'm not sleeping, but I'm getting that rest. But I'm also mentally getting stuff done, answering emails and doing things that, if I was physically doing them somewhere else, it wouldn't be as productive. So sometimes like I get out of bed, I'm like, I already got a half a day's worth of work done. Good for me. So I think it's just figuring it out, for everybody's going to have their setbacks. Mine happen to be health setbacks. But when you've never had those, my mom was always so sympathetic to people. She had Parkinson's. She ended up dying from that. But, she was always so sympathetic to people that were ill. And I'm like, suck it up, buttercup. You got this. And then I go through it and it's like, but I also, my motto was better's better. And every day I would say, what can I do today to be better than I was yesterday? Because yesterday sucked. Today's not looking so bright either, but what can I do today to be better than I was?
Right.
And I still think that mantra is so important for everyone. We can all borrow it. We can use that. What can I do today to be better than I was yesterday?
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. So, Holly, you've helped countless people through retreats, coaching, and leadership programs. What are the most common fears or limiting beliefs that keep people from stepping into the life they're truly capable of creating?
I think them using the word can't. I think if we can just take that right out of our vocabulary, I catch myself sometimes even saying it still, but that is a word that I learned about probably 11 years ago in a personal development. Take the word can't. In fact, it was interesting that happened to be a meme that somebody got off my Facebook. Who knows when I put it on there, and they had it printed on a metal like postcard type thing. And someone sent it to me when I was in the hospital. So like I had that on there, and can't was crossed out. And I was like, oh, they're using my words on me, So I think that's a big one that I feel like when we just take that out, because we can do anything we decide to. I think we really, there are some limitations, yes. And I think that we can always I was using Figure Outable before someone else cloned it. I still say it.
Yes. Yes.
Everything is figure outable.
Everything is figure outable. Yeah.
And we can do it, right?
Yeah.
We can
Yeah.
figure where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Find the way.
I
And
love
I just didn't want to, for me, I just didn't want to live in sick space. I wanted to live in wellness space. And as I got better, I
Yes.
felt like I had a nonprofit that was supporting long COVID. And I had to get out of that even because it was drawing me back because there's so many people that they like the attention that being sick gets them. I wanted to
Oh,
be as far away from that as I could. I wanted to focus on wellness. And
wow.
so it just like,
Wow.
and everything for me was just those shifts, so many shifts.
So beautiful. Oh my goodness. Yeah, everything's a choice, right? And
Yeah.
can't is just like being disempowered because you're saying I can't do something. Yes, you can. If it's yours to do, you will find a way, right? So I love that. I love that.
It's a
Um,
4-letter word. It's ugly.
yes. Yeah, it is. It is a four-letter word. Um, so Holly, you describe yourself as a mover, shaker, and wish maker. What does that phrase mean to you? And how can anyone become the kind of person who creates opportunities instead of waiting for them?
I love disruption, like way more than most, maybe more than I probably, I don't know if I want to say should either, but anyway, I just like shaking things up. I love being an early adapter to things.
Yeah.
The creative side, I've had 12 startups. Does that tell you anything? There usually has been 3 or
Wow.
4 at a time. So it's not like
Yeah.
I've had several for 20 years or more.
Yeah.
I just, I like the busy.
Yeah.
And I heard recently busy's the new stupid. And it's
Ah,
like, well, call me stupid then because I literally love change. I know a lot of people hate it.
yeah.
My husband's one of them that
Yeah.
struggles,
Yeah.
and that's okay. He's got me to help push him
Yeah.
along, right? But I
I
think
feel you.
sometimes we just need that. We need someone behind us, like moving and
Yeah.
shaking and helping
Yeah.
us get the things or be what we're not, right? That's why if we are an entrepreneur, hire help that's the opposite
Yeah.
as you, opposite
That's
personality
it.
style. They're
That's
doers.
how I
I'm
do it.
creative.
Yep.
You get it. I
So
know you
good.
get it.
So good. I love it. And my husband is the complete opposite, and he supports me on my business on
Yes,
things I hate to do and I'm not good at, and he's good at them, and he enjoys them, right? So it's like this is perfect, right? So
it
yeah, my
is.
husband's the same. He doesn't like change as much, and but I love change. Change is exciting. So
It
yeah,
is.
I resonate so deeply with you, Holly. All right. So looking back at your entrepreneurial journey, what were some of the toughest setbacks you faced? And how did those experiences become the foundation for your greatest success?
Yeah. Wow. Well, prior to COVID, I would say, that's my number one for sure, almost dying.
Yeah.
Before that, though, I honestly, and I'm not afraid to admit it, it's in print in my book now. I've been married 4 times. Proud to say my husband and I we're almost ready to celebrate our 25th anniversary. But before
Oh,
that, I was married
yeah.
3 other times. And those were challenges. Divorces are not
Wow.
easy. And, we've had embezzlement happen. Gosh, we've had to deal with 3 exes at the same time. When me and Scott got married, we've had to deal with 2 of our kids married each other after we got married. So we dealt with that. It
Wow.
like setbacks are always going to happen. You don't
Yeah.
have control over them. You do have control, obviously, how you act and respond to them, which I'm not always saying. I'm proud of how I've responded to things. The message I got back from my near-death experience, oh, everybody needs to take this one to heart. I have to remind myself all the time, probably daily, love them where they're at. It
Oh,
changes the
yeah.
energy around it. It's not just love people unconditional. It's love them where they're at because it's
Right.
where they are.
Yeah, I love that because we can't change them. So how about we love them where they're at, and then if they're meant to change, they're going to on their own, right?
Right.
It's their choice. So yeah, that's so beautiful, Holly. I love that. Um, so one final deep dive question, and we're going to go into the rapid fire
Yeah.
round. So if someone is watching that feels stuck, and there's a lot of those people,
Yeah.
whether in their career, business, or personal life. What 3 practical steps would you encourage them to take this week to begin creating positive change?
Mm. Okay, I definitely think a morning routine would be a good
Yeah,
start, and it can be
yeah,
simple. I don't usually try to take appointments for till like 10 a.m. just because
yeah, same.
I'm a lot slower than I used to be for one
Yeah,
thing, and I mean, I'm a morning person, but I just feel like I need that to get things taken care of. Sometimes I need more rest, like whatever it is. So morning routine. I would also add a night routine as the second one, because I feel like what you do before you go to bed is what you're thinking about. And
Yeah.
if you're letting things go, I learned a long time ago, my husband would say, how do you sleep through all that stress, all these things happening? And because he had a hard time sleeping. And I just said, you know what? I just learned I would like focus that problems, whatever it was, would hit a cloud and the cloud would float away, and it's gone for now. And it might come back storming tomorrow, but tonight it's just like I'm releasing it. And so that was something that
I
helped
love that.
helped me. And really journaling. I think just even if you're talk texting, guys, I'm not a writer. I know I have a lot of books, but I talk text them. And then my editor
Right.
cleans them up
Yeah.
because you don't write how you talk.
Yeah.
But I feel like just getting it out. And I would say it's almost as healing for me to get on a phone with a girlfriend and talk someone you trust. And you know, that's a private conversation. Sometimes we just need to vent. As women, especially, I don't think men do that as much. However, being in the retreat industry, I am really wanting to support men's retreats so much more now than ever, because they probably, I mean, my husband's like the perfect avatar, for that.
Yes.
And it's like,
mine too.
it's like you've had a lot of shifts yourself. You need to go get some retreat time.
Yeah. Oh my God, so good.
So anyway, that's what I would
Oh,
say.
we're gonna have so much fun, honestly. Between my dreams with retreats and yours, like, yeah, we're gonna have a blast.
Yes.
Thank you for answering those so well. So now we're gonna go into the rapid fire
Okay.
round, Holly. So one word that defines your life today.
Peace.
Peace. Ooh, so
First time
good.
ever.
Yeah. Oh, love that. Chills, more chills. Success or significance?
Significance for sure.
A daily habit you never compromise on.
Go in the bathroom first thing in the morning when I wake up. Just being honest.
That's a good habit.
It's a must.
One book every entrepreneur should read.
Oh, I love Think and Grow Rich, but I would say go a little further than that. Outwitting the Devil. I wrecked my car listening to that. It was
Wow.
such a trance. Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah.
Outwitting the devil. Okay, I've got to write that down. Okay. Thank you. Um, what's one lesson your near-death experience taught you?
Definitely love them where they're at.
Mm, beautiful. If you could mentor your younger self, what would you say?
Not everything you think matters. And it might later, but what you're going through right now probably won't in a year or two.
Good advice. Complete this sentence. Transformation begins when?
I make a decision to take that next step.
Beautiful. I
And
love it.
surrender, I'm going to add, and surrender.
Yeah, surrender. So important. Oh. So, Holly, thank you. Thank you for sharing your remarkable journey with us, and the wisdom that you gained through your resilience, your leadership, and purpose. And your story reminds us that our greatest challenges can become the foundation of our greatest impact. To everyone watching, if today's conversation inspired you, don't let the inspiration end here. Share this episode with someone who needs hope. Subscribe to Global Speakers Talk and let us know what your biggest takeaway was today in the comments. Every conversation has the power to change a life, and that life could be yours or someone you care about. I'm Elvira Hopper, and this is Global Speakers Talk. Until next time, keep growing, keep leading, and keep turning your challenges into opportunities. Thank you, Holly. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Together we are Global Speakers Talk.